to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How's your weekend? How was your weekend? How's your week been? Is your week off to a great start? I hope it is. My weekend was good. It was really good. My weekend is off. My week is off to a good start. Looking forward to the weekend, looking forward to life. I really can't complain. So thank y'all so much for joining me today. Y'all know I really appreciate y'all. You know, whether you are watching me live, whether you're watching me a replay on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. You know, I see you, I love you, and I appreciate you. So thank you so much for joining me. I definitely appreciate y'all. Now, listen. Now, all right, I'm just going to give this disclaimer. I don't know if it's because of the rain. I don't know what it is, but I cannot see your comments on Facebook right now. So I'm just letting y'all know if y'all commented on, bring it on. It ain't me being funny style. Okay, so I just lied. Okay, I see it now. Because see, earlier I was doing my test because see, I be responsible. I'd be like, let me do my sound checks and stuff first. And then, come on. So anyway, I guess never mind then. So anyway, y'all, let me go ahead because this show is going to be dynamic. I have a guest that is a chef's kiss, a divine connection. You hear me? And you going to understand that after we get done. But first, let me go ahead. Y'all know I got some housekeeping. I will bring your comments on. Facebook is good. YouTube is good. So if y'all want to comment, go ahead and bring it on. Get ready for some questions. I did post a few. So if y'all want to start kind of looking at those, feel free to do that. But meanwhile, y'all, let me go ahead and do my housekeeping. Y'all know I got what? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all already know what I'm going to say. But if you're new here, this is where, I tell y'all where to like, follow, and share. So anyway, on YouTube, it's Relationship Soup, period. If you don't put the period, you're going to be somewhere else, right? You ain't going to be here. And if you want to follow the Facebook forum, it's RelationshipSoupGroup. Y'all, we are still growing. Them past few topics. Okay, I see y'all. So come on, get into the room. Let's talk. All right, if you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. And of course, I still have the greeting card, y'all. It's RelationshipSoup.com for all your greeting card needs, all right? And then y'all already know. Can I just say something? Thank y'all so much for all the love that y'all given me on Hello Me. Listen, the reception has been so positive, y'all. So many doors have been open as a result of Hello Me. I just recently, and thank y'all for all the love on the posts that I share. I've been doing events and stuff. My book signings are coming up really soon. So stay tuned. I ain't going to leave y'all hanging. So if y'all want a signed copy or whatever, I actually just got another shipment in. So I'm going to keep y'all abreast of everything going on, y'all. Can I just tell y'all, these babies are blessed. And if y'all got kids, whether they little kids or big kids, y'all are so blessed. When I tell you, I went into a school this past last week, and I was able to read Hello Me to the kids. And thank y'all so much for the love on the post because the energy in that room was so healing. So if y'all got babies, whether they big or little, y'all are so blessed and just be thankful for them. All right. So anyway, so if you want to get Hello Me, let me go ahead and tell y'all where to find it because I'm going to go ahead and put this little QR code in the corner. Y'all see that code in the corner there? Y'all see it? Go ahead and get Hello Me today. I have it in the hardback. And I have the paperback. And of course, I have the ebook too. And if you want a signed copy from me and you don't want to wait till the book signing, I still want y'all to come to the book signing though, because the book signing is going to be a chef's kiss. I'm already telling y'all. Let me know, DM me. All right. I know it's a few of y'all that had already hit me up. We can definitely coordinate some things. And if you are at a school or whatever, if you are at a place for youth, DM me. Like I said, I got some things lined up and I would love to come out and read Hello Me and, discuss some things with the kids because they need to have a positive outlook of self. All right. Boom. So let me see here. I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, cousin Desiree, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining me, beautiful. But anyway, y'all, so let's go ahead and get into today's show, y'all. Like, all right, when I tell you that I have this dynamic guest, all right. So tonight I have Dana J. Holman II, aka Tubz, who's going to be blessing us with his knowledge and appearance tonight. He is the author of S.O.N.U-Stress Others Not Yourself. And so tonight we're actually stepping into a conversation that might actually challenge the way you've been looking at dating, compatibility, and even yourself. I'm big on that self piece. Y'all know that, right? So tonight, we're going to talk about astrology. We're going to talk about neurodivergence, and we're also talking about how different nervous systems try and sometimes they fail to love each other. Sometimes it's that nervous system, y'all. Because what if the issue isn't that you're bad at dating? What if you're actually a pro at dating? But what if it's just that you're wired differently than the people that you keep choosing, right? Because do you notice a pattern with the people that you choosing to love? Most dating advice, you already know, we own all the social media platforms. They focus on surface level stuff, which is Gucci, it's good. Text this way, lead more, be more confident, communicate better. We already know those things, right? It's good to keep us in front of us, but it's surface. We're going to get deep tonight. And so, again, while those things matter, they're good, they don't address the deeper layer, y'all, because it's layers. We layered like an onion, you feel me? Your nervous system. Now, listen, I'm going to be all the way honest because there was a couple of brothers that should not have had access to me, and my nervous system was everywhere, right? But anyway, Tubz is going to break that down tonight. I think Tubz is going to read me a little bit tonight because the truth of the matter is some people are wired for intensity, right? Some people are wired for stability. Some need novelty. Some need routine. Some escalate in conflict. You know how some of them really toxic seeming relationships, but it just seemed like they be thriving. And then some people they shut down to regulate. So tonight we're going to get into it. Astrology has always described temperament. Okay. Astrology be telling you about yourself, and I've even joked about it. You know, it talks about the archetypes of how we process emotion, connection, and power, right? Neurodivergence, on the other hand, talks about executive function, sensory sensitivity, hyperfocus, rejection sensitivity, and emotional regulation. Different languages, same human patterns. So, look, this episode is not about diagnosing your partner. So, for those of you who are blessed to be booed up or whatever, don't be going and being like, hey, I was watching a Relationship Soup podcast and your archetype. No, it ain't about that. It's about asking a better question. Are you really incompatible or are you misunderstanding each other's wiring? Think about that. Are you really incompatible or are you misunderstanding each other's wiring? Because chemistry without regulation feels addictive. Am I lying? But compatibility with safety feels sustainable. And most people don't even know the difference. So, anyway, I didn't say all of that. That was a whole mouthful. All right. And I see y'all comments and I'm going to bring them on. But without further ado, let me go ahead and bring Tubz to the stage. Coming to the stage is Tubz. How you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? I
Yeah.
love the intro. It was very, very pour into me. And I love that about us. Okay. I love that about you. This is excellent.
Oh, you know what? And let me tell you. Okay, so don't roast me. That intro
Oh,
used to be like 2 minutes. You hear me? And people be
yeah.
like, "Man, I was grooving to it," but then I got roasted. Like, dang, you got a 2 minute intro, and you gonna lose the people in the first 2 minutes.
Listen, listen. I received it, and that's all that matters.
That's
Okay.
not a matter.
The
Matter
people that need it, get it. Okay.
Listen.
But yeah, I love the entire intro. I was over here like, dang, I forgot I was the star. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What is she talking about? I'm interested. Oh, and then yeah, now we're here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, let's go ahead and get into this because I've been looking forward to this. Remember, we had a couple of, we kind of bounced around with a few other dates or whatever, but
Yes,
this is the perfect time, the right time, the
absolutely.
right place, right? We in alignment, right? Tubz?
We are in total alignment. Okay, 3-3. Why not?
You know
Three
what?
three two six. Okay, this is a beautiful, wonderful time.
You know what? When you said the 3-3, I've been seeing the 3-3 and the 3-3-3 and the 11s, them eights been hitting me too. I'm just
There
saying.
you go. Okay,
All
that's
right.
just stability and money and wealth and all of that.
Hey,
What they do? Clock it. Yeah, there we go.
like it. All right. So anyway, tell my listeners about you.
So about me, hold on. There we go. I like that. All right. So I'm absolutely nobody. I'm just a little speck of stardust. But while I'm here on this earth, you know what I mean? I came here first things first. I'm a God-loving father first.
Mhm.
Okay. Father first. Then author, musician, astrologer, entertainer. all those things after. Okay.
Mhm.
So a little bit about me. I have ADHD, but so does the majority of half the world if you let them tell it. But I have ADHD. So what does that mean? That is a part of neurodiversity. So I've been a part of the neurodivergent community probably as long as I remember. Okay. But it didn't. I want to say it didn't affect me until I got to my college year, because that's when I really got diagnosed. That's when I started actually understanding that, oh, other people can do this and I can't. Other people can study by themselves and then go pass the test, and I cannot do that. So that's when I started noticing these changes. And then, fast forward, I, become grown, I have a kid, and then he turns out to be non-speaking with autism. So he's non-speaking teen with autism, right?
Okay.
And I talk about it in my book where I was at this IEP meeting, and one of the teachers was asking, so what do you want him to do for, the rest of his life? Because we're going to try to train him. And, what are your, and I'm over here like, I've never been asked this question a day in my life. And this is crazy. I bet nobody, this is a really heavy question if nobody can imagine that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in charge of what if I'm like, yeah, train him to be in the kitchen, washing dishes, but he's supposed to be an artist or a chef. I'm over here, lowering his potential just because I don't understand certain languages or he's not talking. So that's what made me get into this thing called astrology and learning just patterns, because we all are nothing but patterns. You know what I mean? We are our habits, and then sometimes we get blessed to outgrow our habits. But we all have our data. You know what I mean? If we look at it like we're all a video game character, we all have our own special abilities. We are all here for a reason. The fact that you are existing lets you know that you're special in some way, because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
So fast forward all of that. I know I didn't make it about me, but like that's pretty much what I am. So I'm a researcher. Started researching. I started learning more. I discovered, there are more than one astrologies, and then I started understanding why there are more than one astrologies. And yeah, when I got into deep pattern recognition and understanding things, I was like, oh, we need this. Okay. Because imagine understanding your point of view and how your world, your point of view, focusing on that will change the outside world that you're in. You know what I mean? There's the world you occupy, and then there's your world. And I always say and give this analogy: if 4 people were on an elevator, you're standing in 5 worlds. You know what I mean? So once I grasped that analogy, I was like, dang, like I'm in my own world, you're in your own world. When I leave, I don't exist to you. This conversation was boom, and then you're back on your whole. I know nothing what goes on. So you have your own world, even though we're sharing a world. So that was the most amazing thing. So I was like, dang, I want to peep into my son's world. How is he viewing things? What's gonna be better for him? How can other people view his world? And then, if I'm not here, how can other people be able to just, oh, okay, this is what you're supposed to doing. This is how we should arrange things. This will help you overall. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make that simple for parents with non-speaking kids with autism. And then I wanted to make that more easier for adults who've been late diagnosed, who, especially in our community, know nothing about neurodiversity, but have all the qualities. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like labeling has done such a horrible job for us.
Yes, it has.
That we don't even research the labels anymore. We see what's shown on TV, and then it's, oh, well, I don't have that. And then you're missing the whole world.
That's true.
So that is why I became so passionate about this. And that is why, I'm here spreading the wealth Why I wrote the book, Stress Others, Not Yourself, because that needs to be our mantra. That needs to be like, hey, no, this world is not made for me. It does not accommodate how I view things and all. So why should I stress myself trying to be something I'm not? Why
Absolutely.
accept who I am and then, live the life accordingly for me, for my nervous system, for my environment. And boom. And now we're here.
I love it. Well, let's go ahead and get into that then. So all right. So my first question, Tubz astrology versus tropical astrology. Okay. How is Tubz astrology different from tropical astrology? And what problem are you solving with your system? Do tell, because listen.
That's a good one. I like that. I love that. So basically, both of them are pattern recognition. But here's the thing. With tropical astrology, it just became popular astrology. You know what I mean? Like something that everybody knows that, whether they're into it or not, everybody knows their sun sign. So, right off the bat, we know that's a program. They'll shun you about the entire thing, but you know your sign. So that's what I have to say about that. I'll be like, oh, well, because I get into these debates and all these things all the time, but that's the one thing that we've been programmed and stuck into of, your sun sign. And then I came to find out that you don't even know your sun sign. And that is tropical.
That's okay, I see. I like that.
So then in Tubz, we start understanding the importance of how it is set up, because it's called a spiritual science, but a science nonetheless. So this is something that is actually mathematically backed and accurate. So versus popular astrology, which is, a group of people are acting like this, so we're going to say that everybody acts like this and this is them, and not really tell you the essence of where all of this stuff came from. Because we have to understand that tropical astrology is only 2,000 years old. And I know I say like, only, but life was on here 10s, 20s, 50,000s of years before there was ever any books of whatnot. We were using these stars and these star systems and these archetypes from a mathematical equation. You know what I mean? So as long as math has been here, Eastern astrology has been there. So basically what I did in Tubz astrology, I took Eastern astrology and I took what we love about Western astrology, I combined them. I made a picture-based astrology. So now you understand there's archetypes that we can all look up and understand. And then there's pictures to where we understand what these planets are actually representing in us. So we make it personable. So then I take the houses and what the houses mean and put them into our own section. I literally make it self-awareness. It's all about us in our world and how we are wired and viewing it. So that's the major difference. So when I start saying archetypes and different archetypes, people automatically have a picture in their brain, and now you get it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Look, I called myself. I was like, let me go ahead and send Tubz my little chart right quick. Tubz was like, no, I need the exact this, and this. I was
right, because I'm gonna say some stuff, and this is gonna sound fake. It's gonna sound like, well, yeah, that's basic. Everybody says that, and then when I'm like, oh, nah, so you like boom, 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 and you do boom, boom, boom. Yes, that's what it's like. I remember. So it's like, I'll give you a prime example. When's your birthday?
Mine is July 9th.
So July 9th. So your whole life you've been a Cancer.
Cancer.
You've been a Cancer your whole life, right? And can't nobody tell you nothing, right?
But I got a Taurus moon though. Okay.
So here's the thing. July 9th. No. Yes, your whole life you've been a Cancer, but nothing about you says Cancer when people see you. Nothing.
What did it say?
Gemini. 100%.
Gemini. Why, you know what?
So why do I call it Gemini? I don't even call them Gemini. I call them genies. Because when you think about a genie, what's the first thing that pops up in your head? You think about Aladdin.
Facts.
You think about the blue Aladdin. So you think about how he act. He was very funny, always talkative, things on his hands, granting wishes, always of service,
Right.
meeting people, loving mirrors, always, because what is a lamp? A mirror.
Facts.
So once you start understanding this, you're like, oh, okay. Then you start understanding different things about genies and the culture it comes from. You start understanding the body type of a genie. When you look up your emoji of the genie, you're just, you're very little, which is who? Who rules the genies? Mercury. So now you're Mercury based, which is all about communication, which is very youthful like. So nobody's ever going to know your age.
They ain't gonna know.
Nobody will ever know your age.
I'm timeless.
You'll be like, oh, yeah, yes. They'll be like, oh, you're 31. You're 52. So, so it's things of this nature. So once you understand that, and you're like, oh, then you take into the fact that guess what the sun represents in Tubz? Doesn't even just represent you, it represents your father. So now there's a whole new system behind that. So now when I say, oh, so your dad was in communication, your dad was in somewhat sales, your dad had to travel. He was always traveling.
Mm-hmm.
He was very multi-talented with his hands. He was always working on stuff. And I'm just saying this stuff right off the bat, never met you, never knew nothing. But that's what this stuff is. You start understanding like, oh, these are characters. I made it into a video game. So now it just gets really deep like that. So
that's deep. That's really deep.
It's a very good picture. You start understanding, you're like, even when you wear bracelets and have rings on your finger, you're like Genie. Look at you.
You know what? And so that explains, because I be wondering, like fire signs, they be loving me, and I be like, listen, but I'm a Cancer, right? But when you said that Gemini piece, that makes a lot of sense, because I know I have a lot of Gemini in my chart, but we ain't gonna make this about me. I'm just saying it's that, that's why these fire signs, I'll be like, do you really want this torture? Do you want this?
Right. See, people come at you thinking you're going to be emotional, and then when they realize you're more logic based than you are emotional based, that's what throws them off.
Yeah, well, I be having my moments though. I can't lie.
Of course you do.
All right, so let's ask more questions, because I'm telling you, people have been looking forward to this show. Okay, so the relationship user manual, right? If every couple made a one-page user manual for their nervous system, what would you include, and how does Tubz astrology make that easier?
Well, first we're going to understand their rising sign. Okay, so why the rising sign? So in tropical astrology, there's a lot of planets, but the planet that's missing is Earth. In all astrology-based systems, there's no Earth. Why? Because Earth is your rising sign. It's who you are here on this Earth.
Okay.
It determines your path in life. So what I'm going to do is match people's path first. Who are you here on this Earth versus who are you dating on this Earth? It's not your sun sign, because like I said, that represents more of your father. It also represents, how you identify, your core identity, where you show up at. But then I could go your moon sign. That represents your emotion. That's your actual nervous system, along with Mercury. These are your actual nervous system, but it also represents your mind.
Okay.
So how you're thinking. And I'm like, yeah, I could compare. That's boom. But most importantly, first I'm going to match who you guys are here on this world, because that's your body. That's your rising. Then your moon, which is your mind. I'm going to match those two things, because we need to know how you're thinking. How far are you guys away from each other? You know what I mean? Are you thinking like community? Are you community-based thinking? And your partner's all about comfort? Because they're enemies.
Right.
So when you start thinking and looking at it like this, you're like, oh, okay. Are you more of a creative mind? Are you more, okay, do you have a creative mind, aka Leo, Griffin? Or are you more about adventure, warrior, aka Aries? More Aries minded, more adventure, more impulsive. These things matter. So how close are they? So I'm gonna match those. Then I'm gonna end it with your Venus and Mars. So the fun thing about that is the Mars sign for women. I love I love when I counsel women, it's always the Mars side. They think it's their Venus. It's, oh, this is how I love. And no.
That's what I said.
No. It's your Mars. Because
Really?
your Venus sign just represents, it determines how your partner will act.
Really?
Yes, if you're a woman, your Venus sign will determine the type of partner you're gonna get. It gets deep, okay? With Vedic or Eastern or Tubz, we gotta make it mathematically correct, match the degrees. But once we see your Venus sign, we know how your partner's gonna be. For example, let's say you have a Venus in Scorpio, all right?
Mm-hmm.
In mine, I call it vampires. So you have a vampire Venus. So right off the bat, I know the type of person you're going to end up with is going to be very dark and mysterious. They're going to love the color black. They're going to be very intense. They're going to be research based. Okay. They're going to be very obsessive and possessive.
Really?
So I know these things. But Mars is what the women are attracted to. Mars is that warrior. Mars is that guy with the sword, and women always go after the dangerous guy. It's what they're prone to. They're like, oh, here's Mr. Safe. I want the guy with the sword. That's what they're going after. It's what they're attracted to. Their Mars also represents their own energy. So I tell my lady clients, I said, we're gonna know right off the bat within 5 seconds if you're the problem or if he the problem.
Oh,
Is your Mars in a masculine sign or is it in a feminine sign? If your Mars is in a feminine sign, you are not the problem. Because you know how to conduct yourself action-based feminine sign. You're not wired differently in that way. But if it's in a masculine sign, that means whenever issues or pushback comes, you're right there fighting back. Now you're fighting back, and you shouldn't be fighting back. They're like, no, I'm bold. I should be able to stand up and I should fight. But that's not what you're supposed to do. We're talking from a spiritual perspective.
right.
You're more in your feminine. There's always a big debate, but your feminine is more creative based. Because you are a woman, you strive in submission, and not submission as in, oh, like, everybody gets these words, but it's more like submitting to the situation. It's, I'll let you lead. I'll just tell you what I want, and I need to step back and let you do it. But if your Mars is in a masculine sign, it's, you're going to say what you want, and you're going to tell them how to do it, and move out the way. I'll do it myself. And that becomes the issue. See what I'm saying? Nobody is.
Oh, I see.
Always a compatibility. And it's like, who needs to fall back in this situation? So then,
okay.
Yeah, so those are how I do compatibilities and stuff like that. And then when I match the characters, it's better that way. It's like, oh, you got a Scorpio Venus, but your Mars is in Taurus. So you have a fairy Mars. How is that going to work? A lot of obsession, a lot of tension going back and forth. Some wants trauma and stability. The other one wants comfort and adventure. It's it's a big mush. So
okay, that makes sense. And I never really thought about the masculine and feminine aspect of astrology. So like, yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that because I remember doing my chart and it was like masculine, feminine, and all that. But I didn't really think about
all your water and earth signs are going to be feminine.
Water and earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's
and
Taurus?
Think about it.
Taurus is
earth.
Oh,
so it's about serving.
Okay. So my Mars is in Taurus.
Yeah, and you're tropical, but in reality, it's fire based.
We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna
have to talk, right? Yeah. See,
listen, I got
impulsive. I'm like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I wanna, this is what I want to do. Let's just do it. Let's just come on. That's your energy. So now it's like, Taurus would be more like, don't get me wrong, Taurus is very stubborn. Oh, they stubborn. But they could be more, I'll let you take lead, but when I don't want to do something, I'm going to just sit right here. I ain't moving type energy. So it's just, I do these things all day. It's fun.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, so all right, so another question, right? Because I do want to get to your book here in a second, okay? So
Absolutely.
so when someone says we're just incompatible, how do you determine whether it's true incompatibility or simply two different nervous systems misunderstanding each other?
9 out of 10 times, it's always two misunderstood nervous systems misunderstanding each other. Whenever somebody says they're incompatibility, what brung you together? It
Mm-hmm.
was something.
It was,
Okay. It
yeah.
was something. So that something may have left, right? And a lot of the times, because especially if you're neurodivergent, you need a lot of stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
ADD, you need dopamine. So again, a lot of our situations always start off messy. So, now you start off messy, things get a little exciting, then you get into a healthy relationship, and most people don't realize a healthy relationship is boring as hell. It's boring.
Mm-hmm.
So, for someone who strives in chaos, boring is just I need to cause mischief. I need to cause arguments. I need to do these things. And a lot of people say, oh, that's toxic. But guess what? There are some compatibility nervous systems that need a little toxicity in the relationships to function.
Mm-hmm.
That's their ultimate pairing. That's actually what they're looking for. Why is that? Because if their partner isn't a little toxic, they become the toxic one because it's balance.
Ah,
Yes, I'll give you a hint. This is Scorpio and Taurus, aka Beauty and the Beast.
okay.
Beauty and the Beast relationship. All
Mm-hmm.
right. At the time, the Beast had to be the toxic one, but Belle was equally as toxic. When the Beast started trying to be cool and nice and all, Belle caused mischief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So these are the energies. It adds a little spice to it when you realize you're like, oh, okay. But if you let society tell you you guys are toxic, and then you start feeling shame, you accept things trying to be something that you're not, and that becomes the issue. So
Okay.
that's why I say it's 9 out of 10 times you're just a misunderstanding of each other's nervous system. And if you just got the right information and understand why so and so, what you're wanting so and so to be in your life versus what they actually are being in your life, and
Mm-hmm.
then vice versa. So that's all that people need sometimes to just take a look at and be like, oh, because a lot of the times in your mind, you're wanting a partner to be like this, then your partner is really like this. And
Mm-hmm.
then you look at their chart, they're wanting their partner to be like this, and you're being like this. So then when I come in, I go, okay, so you're looking for this and you're looking for this. How about you do this on this day and you do this on this day and see how that works? And
Wow.
9 out of 10 times, most issues are solved.
Really? Okay.
It's getting them both in that becomes the issue. A lot of times, sometimes it's half-sided. Like sometimes I'll get the males, and
Mm-hmm.
they're fun, but trying to get your woman on board as a male, I understand why. They're like, it's hard because they get it, but their woman's like, I ain't listening to him. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. Or if it's the reverse, then the women are on there. Then the men are hating me for a second because now they're like, he's just feeding you garbage until they see an improvement, and then it's So that's why I like to get them both in here, and I'm like, okay, so this is going on and this is going on. They're like, yeah, cool,
Wow.
and I make it very fun. I take the therapy aspect out of it. And I always encourage, I'm nothing against therapy. I just take the therapy aspect out of how does that make you feel? And how does that make you? I go, you're feeling like this, aren't you? And they're like, yeah. And you're wanting this. Absolutely. And she's doing this. You get me. And that's all that they want. They just want a little understanding. So it's very fun.
Oh, okay. I love that. All right, so let me ask you this. So, a lot of people mistake intensity for compatibility, right? How can someone tell the difference between real alignment and nervous system activation?
Ooh. See,
Like
now that's
look, I saw that and I was like, yeah. How
okay.
can you tell? Because I'd be like, oh, we hella compatible. You know what I'm saying? But then it's
Well, I'm a listen. I know this sounds very typical, but self-awareness comes into play. Very self-aware. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not as self-aware as they think. Because like I said, they'll think they'll know themselves and this is this. And I'm not saying they don't, but when I come in and I'm saying things, they get a little confused, like, damn. And I'm go, yeah. So then when you have self-awareness involved, you start understanding when you're around certain people and then when you leave them, how are you feeling in that moment? See, when it's intensity, everything feels urgent. Everything feels like let's go right now. Let's do this. This is what we got to do. We got to da. So if you feel very compelled, obsessed, you know what I mean? So it's not to say both can be divine alignment, but the question was, okay, intensity. Intensity is sometimes needed to draw you in to your destiny. You know what I mean? So you got to have these chemical whatever. But when you are aligned, even after arguments, you still feel safe. In intense, you don't feel safe. You feel intense. But that's also what intrigues you and turns you on. Like I said, our chemistries are different. Something has to pull us in, something has to keep us here. And then when you get in here, then you deal with what they call karma or your actions, right? A lot of the times, once you know the trick, everybody is a mirror, life becomes cool. See, when you're a mirror, I always tell people when it comes to dating, you are attracting yourself. Oftentimes than not, you are attracting the very thing that you want to hide about yourself in your partner. We hold up the mirror and they can't stand them. It's this intensity, this often, and then you start thinking about with you on how often you keep going back to certain habits that you know you shouldn't. And the same way that you attract to these habits is the same way you're attracting to these men or to these women. And you're not understanding that it's just a reflection from inside, which is why self-awareness is important. You need to know what you are attracting. And then when you can pinpoint it, you're like, this is my Mars right here. This is what I'm really attracting myself towards. But what is this Mars representing in my world? Let's say it's in my 10th house, right? And you're attracted to Mars, it's in the 10th house. The 10th house is career. So this person is reflecting your inner career. You're often attracted to this person. You might meet this person in career. And this person is going to reflect all the insecurities you have in your career towards you. That's who you're dating. So once you realize, like, it's all about you're dating yourself. And when things aren't working out, it's because what about you? And 9 out of 10 times people don't ask that question. Right. They always want to make it, well, okay, so what? I did it. What about them?
Right. It's you. Right.
Tell me about them. And it's like, I can tell you about there. That's fine, but we're on you. We got to draw it back to you because it's something with you that you are attracted to. Because even if you get rid of this person, the next person is going to be this person times 2.
Right. Ooh. We got some comments too. I'm gonna get y'all comments in a second. Let me ask you this. Let's see here, because let's get to your book right quick, okay?
Okay.
So your book, S.O.N.U, A Neurospicy Guide to Self-Acceptance. All right. So I'm trying to think. So can you break down S.O.N.U? Who is it for? And what's one tool from the book someone can use this week to improve self-acceptance and relationships?
So S.O.N.U stands for Stress Others, Not You.
Right.
But I love the yourself because the you is the big part in yourself, right? Absolutely. So a neurospicy guide to self-acceptance. When you go on and you get the book, and it's digital only, it's gonna be in hardback copy, all of that very soon. But for now, it's digital only. But when you go in there, one thing you can get from the book you're going to understand what ADHD and autism and AUHD actually means. And then when I break down the planets, you're going to understand what the planets actually represent in your life. For example, everybody hears about Saturn and Saturn's this, but it really represents your structure and how you deal with time. So your time management can be seen by your Saturn. If it's in a negative sign or a positive sign, you're going to be more creative with your time management, or you're going to be more structured. So this is where these fixed or cardinals or elements go into it. You know what I mean? So if it's in a fire element, you're going to be very more impulsive. You're going to be very passionate. But if it's in a air element, you're going to be very communicative. You're going to be talking based. You're going to need to go with the flow. If it's in water, very emotional, in tune. So your time doesn't like to be emotionally, doesn't like to be controlled by emotions. So you often got to keep that in. It's like, oh, it's my time, and it's in a water sign. So depending on how I feel, it will mess up my structure. And that's you know what I mean? We're going to need help with that. Because it wants to be in an earth, solid, fixed. I said I was going to do this. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to do this. That's how your structure wants to be. So if it's in not one of those two signs, where it's either ruled by passion or emotions, it doesn't know how to function well. So then it relates into your world. Oh, this is why I have time management issues. How am I going to fix these things? You know what I mean? So those are the things that you can take away from it. You'll get a very understanding of self. That's one thing. I even give people prompts and homework in the book. Like,
I love it.
So yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So many men are told dating is about confidence and strategy, right? Where do you think nervous system regulation plays a bigger role than most realize?
So with nervous system regulation, you're not controlled by others. You're controlling yourself when you have your nervous system regulated. You're not falling for impulses. You're not giving too much into your senses, which is, again, if you really want to get more spiritual about it, sin. You're not giving into sin. Sin and senses are synonymous with each other.
Right.
Because you need them in order to commit. Either with your sight, you're giving into your lust. With your hearing, you're giving into, what you want to hear versus what was actually said. These are things like this. So it's when you have a nice regulated nervous system, you then can be in your own energy. You're not affected by others. You're not allowing others' energy to interfere with yours. You're able to pinpoint it and be like, this isn't even me. I'm not angry because my partner's angry. I'm actually okay. My partner's just angry, and that's okay. Right. But a lot of times, if we don't have our nervous system regulated like that, we're matching energies. We're always, I match energies. Is that a good thing? Depending on the situation, but not when you're trying to date. Right. You know what I mean? It's like you want to be your own energy, and someone does something well, you know what I mean? You're like, damn, I receive it. A lot of the times men don't know how to receive the love that they get. And that's a part of healing your nervous system. A lot of the times, and I'm not saying that women don't, because a lot of times we're often running on E. We're giving from our cup when we should never give from the cup. Everybody's like, oh, my cup's full. And everybody's trying to give from a full cup, and you shouldn't. You should be giving from the overflow. You should be pouring from the saucer. You know what I mean? So then it's like half the time we're already drained and we're still trying to give. That's the dysregulated nervous system. So it's always going to end in, you know what? I ain't got time for this. F this. Why? Right. I'm here for this. If you're not trying to do this, there's no patience. That's a sign of a dysregulated nervous system.
Okay. All right. I'm going to bring on your comments. Give us just one more question. Okay. So, What would be some common friction points when it comes to someone who, say, craves reassurance and they tend to date someone who needs space or routine?
Again, keep going.
Say that again.
No, keep going.
Okay. So, what actually works in bridging that gap? Because sometimes you'll have people that just want a reassurance, right? And then you have maybe, could it be more of avoidance? Maybe I'm careful with my terms because there's so many out there, and I don't want to miss over you.
And honestly, it does come off like that. But a lot of the times, that's where understanding oneself is. It's a lot of the times we get offended because a lot of the times avoidance don't know how to communicate that they're avoiding. So then when in 9 out of 10, this is what happens. A person that needs reassurance gets with somebody who's an avoidant. And instead of asking the question of how did you become an avoidant, instead, the avoidant is just being themselves regularly. And then the person that needs reassurance is taking it personal. Because now it's, oh, I'm affected. I need reassurance. When normally when you're a person that needs reassurance, you suffer from abandonment issues. So now the avoidant, when you're just being an avoidant, meaning like non-confrontational, and you just rather than to engage, now the other person feels abandoned. Now you're triggered. So now your nervous system's already haywire. You're not trying to listen for understanding. You're listening to respond because now it's a safety thing. So now you just get cortisols flying and everything is all of this. So 9 out of 10 times, you're always going to attract your opposite because it's what you need. This is why you get your mirror, because people are understanding like, oh, I need to learn how to deal. They don't want to. They, again, the person that needs a reassurance gets with an avoidant, and what do? Run.
Exactly. This ain't working out. Nah, my knees or whatever, instead of sticking it out. Yeah, absolutely.
Then they date somebody else, and guess what they end up being? Another avoidant. And they're like, oh my God, I keep running into the same. And then it's like, because you keep avoiding who? Yourself.
Facts.
That's so why when they study themselves, a lot of that, they can have grace. They can be like, okay, I know. They can be able to communicate. A lot of the times it's always a miscommunication.
Right.
It's always I'm triggered and I don't know how to express that. I'm going to start using you statements because that's what was done to me. You're always da-da-da-da-da. You never da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'm pissed because I'm over here feeling like so-and-so and so-and-so, and I need help with this, and I feel unsafe, and you never da-da-da-da-da. So you gotta, and when you say these words, especially to neurodivergent people, because like I said, I tell our culture, if you are this color, 9 out of 10 times you're neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form. Look up the different terms of neurodiversity. Trauma can make you neurodivergent.
Yes.
I don't know any other cultures. All cultures got trauma, but an American Black, you have some your brain is rewired. The world is not made for how you're thinking right off the bat. So we got to show each other grace. And when you do that, it's a lot easier to deal with. You can then communicate, and you're not communicating from a place of fear. You know what I mean? It's more of a place of love and understanding, which I talk about in the book as well. But that's the best thing. It's a lot of the times people are reacting off of fear rather than love. You're not trying to love yourself. You're avoiding yourself because it's representing the parts of yourself that you fear.
That makes sense.
Once you accomplish that, things are very smooth based. Okay. Now I'm not saying it's easy.
Right.
I'm not saying it's easy. Okay. But it's fun. No, it's fun when you go to the right person.
I love that a lot. And I like what you said about the grace piece too. You know what I mean? Because I've even been talking about, extending self more grace, right? And then, because sometimes when you do get into these relationships or whatever, you give everybody else grace. You give everybody else this, but your person, you're not giving them any grace. You just reacting. You not trying to see nothing. It ain't working. We this. You know what I mean? But if you extend that grace and aim for understanding, it will help you to kind of see through some things. So I like what you said about that. So let me do this, Tubz. I'm gonna bring on some comments because I always be like, we're gonna do an hour or under, but it be going. Yeah. All right, so let's see here. All right, so let's see. All right. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Derek, thanks so much for joining. We really appreciate you. Yes. Oh, yeah, I seen where Tonality wasn't feeling too good. Feel better, Tonality. Elena, thanks for joining me. Beautiful. I appreciate you. She said something about boosting the ego.
Yes.
You know what, Jay? Yes, I did cut the whole intro down. I did. All right, let's see here. Hey, Lucky, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. We got a Cancer, but you got to dig deeper, Mark. It's deeper than just the Cancer. You got to look at all that, right? And you know what, Tubz,
and I tell people, listen, the reason I had to come up with that is because people will have their whole sign tatted on them, and I'm not going to tell them that they not their sign. I'm just going to say that surface level, and you're trying to go deep. So we need to know how you are to the surface, and then we need to know how your nervous system is wired. That's what I tell them. Like, it's going to be different than what you think. You know what I mean? Very, very few are wired the same as they present. So
that makes a lot of sense because it makes so much sense. And look, and I like what you said about Mars because my Mars is in a feminine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely. So it ain't me, right, Tubz? It ain't me.
Level.
It ain't me.
Level. But inwardly, after emotions get involved and passion, it might, because I see that you could probably be a little feisty fighter when it comes to something that you're passionate about, and it is what it is. So I can just see that's my piece of chicken. How dare you? Swipe, and it's like, dang. You should have ordered your own.
Don't play with my food. Not in real life. Don't play with my food. For real. I'm little, but I be like.
I bet. Yeah.
Okay, so hey Keith, thanks so much for joining us. You have so many operate out of fear instead of love. Almost most people don't offer grace to the significant other because they have a high expectation or unrealistic expectation of their significant other.
Let's talk about that.
Yes, let's.
Why? Because 9 out of 10 times, and I'm promoting one book while also working on another. So my date book is going to be fire. So I love that we're having this conversation because I'm going to bring it back when it's time to release the date book and whatnot. But in that book, I definitely talk about the main issue that we need to address. And that is understanding titles in dating. A lot of the times, and I'm just going to speak, we don't understand the different paths of dating, the different types of dating there are out there. All we know about dating from when we first started as teenagers was what we seen on TV and what we seen our parents do. Right. And 9 out of 10 times we have to understand that relationships is not marriages, but we're always comparing and making a relationship a marriage. So a lot of the times when people mess up in relationships, they treat it like a marriage. But that's when you're supposed to mess up. That's when you're supposed to learn how to combat and deal with these problems. But a lot of the times it's, the moment I like you and we sleep together once or twice, then we try to feel urgent and we move in together. Now we're in a marriage. You're not in a marriage. Then nobody say that was aligned divinely or any of that. But you're treating it as such. Because why? Because now you're merging your energies together. And nobody had the proper talk. Nobody had the proper thing of what this is and what they wanted and their expectations. Because again, we all have free will. We're just wired differently. And it's like, okay, we have our free will of how we want to be. But when you're in something, when you're sharing your energy with someone, you need to understand that, I've been all fire my whole life. And now I'm dating a person that, may have appeared to be compatible with me based off of one sign or another, but then they're a whole water surface. I'm used to dealing with passion quick, and if everything has to feel. This person's dealing with emotional hiddenness, meaning like I gotta feel safe. So my emotional vulnerability is everything. So I need to hide it and protect it. So I'm gonna, like the Cancer, the crab, the whole theory on the crabs. I call them werewolves. See, that's another thing. Cancers are werewolves. They're not crabs. See, in tropical, they'll be like, all these crybaby crabs. No, think werewolves. Werewolves are ruled by the moon. Werewolves are in their pack. Werewolves become vicious when you mess with their cubs or their family members.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolves are hunters and gatherers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Werewolves need community.
Wow.
The moon on how the moon is. It affects the tides.
Mm-hmm.
So again, they're always moody and shifty. One moment they're playful, the next moment they're sad, the next moment they're attacking. These are all werewolves. And when you start realizing that, you're like, you'll start noticing a lot of them wear silver or white gold.
Mm-hmm.
You start understanding the essence of Cancer, which is milk-based. A lot of them love ice cream. Why is that?
Wow.
When you're the men and you have Cancer, anything, like I'll give you a fun one. If you're a man with a Mars in Cancer,
mm-hmm.
or a Venus in Cancer, you love tiggle bitties. You always go after women with tiggle bitties. You're like, oh my God, I love them. No matter what, you're like, why? Because they represent the mother. They represent the nourishment. This is the milk. Milk is the most luxurious thing because so many products come from milk, whether it be ice cream, whether it be butter, whether it be whatever. So you're like, but when you're a woman with Cancer placements, right? Like let's say you're into Cancer or Mars, you tend to have big old tiggle bitties. That's the difference. So then it's like, so then when I tell people like you're not peep game. Most Leos have big what? Most female Leos have big boobs. Do they not?
Ooh, okay.
Most Leos are Cancers.
Got you. See, you know what?
Now you see it. Now you're like,
now I'm really thinking. I'm like, okay. All right.
They always act very royal, but they're always moody.
Mm-hmm.
Leos are not normally moody. It's the sun. They're very dry and authority-like. So who really acts like Leos? Virgos. Virgo men act like what?
I'm trying to be careful because like one of my really good friends is a Virgo, kind of like a Devo.
Yeah.
A Devo.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's really a Leo. They can perform. They're like, you're so drama-filled. Yes, because they're really Leos. Now it starts making sense. You're like,
Look, okay. That makes a lot of sense. We're going to have to extend this. I'm going to bring on a couple more comments. We getting close to that 8 o'clock. So let's see here. Hi, Nicole, Coco, for joining me. Let's see here. Geminis are attracted to me and then the wheels go off. I think it's their split personality. Aries and Leos are super stubborn. We all have feminine and masculine energy.
Okay. We are all the signs.
Absolutely.
That's why I tell people 100%. Like one of the questions you asked was, how else would I, after I do the signs, the most important thing is I focus on the planets. You should never ask what sign you are. You should ask what planet are you. Because when you ask what planet you are, the signs are nothing but the wardrobe. This is a sign. What I'm wearing is a sign. Who I am is the planet. And when you start understanding, like, and how each planet has a masculine and a feminine sign, now you start understanding more of who you are and how you're viewing things. You know what I mean? So, are you Saturn? If you're Saturn, okay, this makes sense. You're very wise, you're very old. Most of the time you got a limp. Mm-hmm. You like the code. You rebel, but you love to serve. Okay. So yeah, the signs are just how you dress it, how you dress. It's your style.
Now I see it. So look, for everybody out there dating, hey, what's your planet in? What your Mars look?
What planet are you?
Listen,
Right. Once we understand that, okay. Now we get the basics. And it's really
absolutely.
fun. And that's why I tell people follow me on my TikTok, because I posted 700 videos this. Once you get your things, life becomes a game and it's fun. You start seeing it, start noticing these people out here. You get to interact with them. You're like, when I want to know this, I'm gonna go to these type of people. When I want to know this, and you start piecing it together, and life becomes just a grand. It's a whole new world that it will open up.
So what I want you to do for me, to put I do have your information. Like I could just take it from your page.
Yeah.
DM it to me. I'm gonna put it in these threads so that way people can have it, and just tell people where they can follow you on TikToks. What is your handle?
So my handle is going to be astrology, the number 4,
Mm-hmm.
the letter D, and the letter H. It stands for, just say in your head, astrology for the hood.
Okay.
And boom, you can find me any and everywhere. Now my website is going to be Speaking Puzzles.
Okay.
SpeakingPuzzles.com. Once you go in there, you'll see the whole neurodivergency. You see how we break it down. You see how I'm just out here bringing clarity and understanding to us on a whole new level. Okay. Now, I keep it very practical, but we can also get real magical with it too. Okay. The remedies is where it comes in at, because once I give people the remedies, that's where, and it's so simple. Very simple remedies that we hear, but we don't know why we need to, so we lack. And then when you like, oh, crazy word, kind of like you. I'll give you a very good one so they can understand.
Okay.
You're a Taurus moon, right?
Taurus moon.
I remember seeing that Taurus moon. No, really, you're really a warrior moon, right? So
Okay.
I'll give you a secret. When you go a week without going to the gym or working out, how does your mind feel?
Kind of like I need to get back, or it doesn't feel as active. I feel like a drain, kind of. Yeah.
You feel like a drain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes 2 weeks without it. Now you're just not even yourself.
No.
All the mean thoughts get into your head. The voice in your head starts whooping your head, don't it?
Yes, it do.
Because you have a warrior mind or a warrior moon. So what do warriors do? They're always in training. They're always working out because they're ready for a battle. So when you have a warrior mind,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be in the gym. You want to work out, because if you don't work it out, that energy now starts working on you.
Oh.
Mars is going to fight. Now, either you fight in the gym or it's going to fight you. Who do you want it to beat up?
The gym, not me. Not me.
There you go. And then you'll start noticing, when I'm more in the gym more regularly, things is flowing for you, especially depending on where it's at. Let that be in your money house. That's going to increase the flow of your money. If it's in your relationship house, that's going to smooth out all your relationship problems. If it's in your enemy house, guess what? You start solving your health, your debts go away. That's the magic of it. So that's why.
Wait till we get deep. Do you have any last words for my any additional words for my listeners?
I will say, yes, make sure you guys follow me everywhere, Astrology for the Age. Right now, heavy on TikTok, 700 videos. Make sure you go follow me, say hi, catch me on live there. Pretty soon, I have my own school, so you can go on there, look on the link in the bio. I'm going to be teaching this stuff more so in school. And then my YouTube's going to come, and we'll work on that. But just make sure you guys are following and be on the lookout. Like I said, I have fun. Tell me that you were on here, and then you might catch me on live, and I got you. You know what I mean? Say you were from the RelationshipSoup, I got you.
Okay, I love that. All right, Tubz. Well, I'm going to take you off of here. Get your information to me. I will post it, and we got to look at a part 2 because this is amazing.
Yeah, we can go part 2. We can get deep. Okay, we can get. I'll tell you about the themes of each sign and what they're here for. That'll work next time.
All righty. Well, thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you guys for having me. Peace.
Peace. All right, boom. So you heard it here first. We're going a little bit over time, but anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for listening. Oh my gosh, like I'm just, I love information that takes you a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? And so one thing I really want to take from this episode is like stop moralizing differences, right? Not every intense connection is destiny. Not every shutdown is rejection. And not every incompatibility is failure. And, the truth of the matter is sometimes you're not wrong for each other. You're just wired differently. Maybe you haven't learned each other's languages yet. And the goal isn't to find someone who feels electric. The goal is to find someone whose nervous system can feel safe next to yours. That's compatibility. Think about that. So, of course, y'all already know I'll be trying to have my affirmations and stuff like that. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat. If you're on Facebook, you are not going to see this, and that's okay. But I'm going to read it out loud and bring it on anyway, because y'all know how I feel about affirmations, right? I wrote a whole children's book about it. I'm just saying. All right, so let me see here. So here's the affirmation for this week. I release the need to chase what excites my fear. I align myself with relationships that honor my wiring. I attract connections that feel steady, reciprocal, and clear. What's meant for me will both feel alive and safe, right? All right, boom. So you heard it here first. All right, y'all. Housekeeping, y'all already know. Like, I'm just so grateful for y'all. I'm trying to wrap this up because y'all already know what time it is. It is past 8 o'clock, and you already know I'll be so hungry on a Tuesday. All right, so let me do my quick housekeeping. I'm going to do my shout outs, and then I'm going to get out of here, y'all. All right, so boom. On YouTube, it's Relationship Soup, period. You got to put the period, you're going to be somewhere else. If you want to join the forum, it's RelationshipSoupGroup, Relationship Soup LLC. If you want to follow me, don't forget the cards and all that. We got it. RelationshipSoup.com. And of course, y'all already know. Hello, me. It's still ringing in my ears, y'all. Hello, me. You can get this on Amazon. Teach these babies to speak positive and have a good outlook of self, right? That's part of getting to know self, right? Being able to have a positive outlook of self as well, right? So Hello Me, available on Amazon, ebook, paperback, all of that. We got that. All right. Oh, y'all see that bar I just dropped? You hear that bar, Tubz? You hear that bar a little bit? All right, so let me see here. Is there anything else? Anything else? All right, I can't see y'all comments if y'all have anything for me. But anyway, I just want to give a shout out to my guest, Tubz, Dana. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Mama, thank you so much for listening today. Lyric, thank you so much for what you do behind the scenes with Relationship Soup, with the book. I really appreciate you. The Grishams, Angel, my cousin Angel Grisham, thanks for listening tonight. My aunt Anna, my viewers, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I see you in the studio, Mark. B, everybody that joined tonight, thank you. And I so appreciate y'all. Now, is there anything else that I got before I get out of here? I'll be trying to make sure I get it all. I think that's it. So anyway, hit that QR code for the book. And it always, always, always starts with you. You heard it here. You got to know yourself. Right? Know yourself. Give yourself grace. Extend grace. Give yourself understanding. Extend understanding. And until we meet next time, peace.